All right, we warmly welcome to this Zen Coaching webinar. We will be doing some coaching sessions, and I will speak a little bit about the basic principles of Zen Coaching as well, and you will see it in action. So it's a bit of an introduction, and of course, some of you know very well already Zen Coaching. For some, it's the first time. So we have a mixed group from many countries. Which is fun, that we can meet from all over the world in this way. So my name is Kåre, and I'm from Norway. I'm sitting in Oslo. And I've been offering Zen Coaching since 2005. That's when it started. And Zen Coaching is a bit of a mix of things I have been inspired by in life, different teachings, teachers, traditions, wisdom. My journey started basically with studying philosophy for quite some years in my 20s. And then in my 30s, I started more on a meditation path and spent some time with Thich Nhat Hanh in France, in Plum Village, the mindfulness practice and teachings of a Vietnamese Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh. And later I moved to Ängsbacka in Sweden, a big course center and meditation center. And I lived there for some years, and I've been in touch with many teachers, many teachings since then. Especially I'm a student of the Diamond Approach, very much inspired by the teachings and practice of the Diamond Approach, which is developed by Almaz and Karen Johnson. But also I'm very inspired by nonviolent communication developed by Marshall Rosenberg, and many healing modalities which combine meditation with therapy. So in a way, I can call it spiritual therapy or meditation-based therapy. But Zen Coaching is coaching, which means it's really about letting people discover their own answers. So Zen means meditation, and coaching basically is a practice of asking questions, listening deeply, sometimes challenging the client to see things clearly. And the Zen way of coaching is very much inner oriented, as you will see. And the basic principle is that the problems we have in life, if we look at it from a deeper perspective, they come from lack of connection with a deeper part of ourselves. So as we are disconnected from the deepest part of ourselves, we suffer. We have a distance between who we are and who we take ourselves to be. And this distance causes some kind of dissatisfaction, some kind of pain, some kind of suffering. And this manifests in external problems, relationships problems, money problems, problems with work, even health. So with this perspective, the solution to every problem is a deeper connection inside. And from that deeper connection, we see more easily how to tackle life in an intelligent way. So that is the basic problem. The basic approach. Coming home to ourselves, which is the path of meditation. So the principles here are universal principles. It's not something really I came up with. It is all the wisdom traditions of the world have these principles in one way or the other. So it's, in a way, my take on it, put into a coaching framework. And Zen Coaching is, or has become over the years, a big community around the world, some 700-800 people from many countries. And we offer a training also in several countries like Sweden, like Poland, like South Africa, earlier also Denmark and Norway. So it's also a community. And in that way, it's inspired also by Buddhism, which has the triple gem, which is the Buddha, the Sangha, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So the Buddha representing the awakened state, and the Dharma reflecting the method, and the Sangha, the group of friends who support each other to practice this method and connect deeper insight. So in the same way, we have these three principles in Zen Coaching. So my perspective is we can all help each other, and it's not, we don't have to be fully enlightened Buddhas to be of great support to each other. If we understand some basic principles, we can be very helpful to each other, more like friends. So a coach for me is like a friend who listens deeply, asks good questions, and then sometimes magic happens. So another phrase we have in Zen Coaching is the phrase helping through non-helping. So by meeting in this way, coaching in this way, we're not so much oriented at fixing problems as in just meeting the moment and exploring the moment and finding a yes to the moment. And through that yes, life starts to unfold with its intrinsic intelligence. And this intrinsic intelligence will open us up, and our insight, our understanding will deepen. And this understanding will liberate blockages and open us to deeper realizations and deeper states. So far, so good. All right. Let's begin just by hearing a word on the chat from some of you. How are you being here in this moment? Right now, just one word. So that's, in a way, the answer to the question, where are you in yourself right now? This is a very important question in life. Where am I inside myself? You know I'm in Oslo, but where am I inside myself? Curious, grounded, excited, open, curious, well, grateful, here, calm. Back in the now. Nuno, tired, curious, skeptical. Okay, that's fine. Anticipating, breathing. Happy, happy. All right. Thank you. So I'm not going to try to sell an ideology or a theory or anything. For me, it's about having some experience and letting the experience be the teacher. What I share is simply my own experience, and you can test it. If I say this cake is fantastic, I have this cake, and I said this is really a fantastic cake. I tried it. It's the best cake I had so far this year. And then you say, I don't believe it. I said, well, that's all right. You don't have to believe it. But in my opinion, it is a fantastic cake. So then I would say, well, try it. Try it. Then you try it, and then you find out. So that's one reason I'm attracted to Zen. Zen doesn't really sell any theory. It's more like a finger pointing at the cake, or as they say in Zen, pointing at the moon. So don't bite my finger, look where it's pointing. It's pointing at the moon. So the moon is the cake. So we try it. If we like it, we like it. If it works, it works. So do what works. And what I share is what I have found out works best in my several decades of searching for different techniques and principles. So I share what I feel works easiest, deepest, and best for me. And then you can find out for you. Now, let's begin with a little meditation, since it's really all about meditation. A little guided, short guided meditation. So I just invite you to find a comfortable position. Let go of anything you have in your hands. Let go of any doing. Turn off all external distractions for a moment. And then I invite you to take a little holiday. Take a little holiday from any kind of doing. Take a little holiday from thinking. And just give yourself permission to just be here without any thinking, any doing, any planning, any past, any future, just here. There's a body sitting on a chair, on a sofa. Just feel the weight of the body, gravity. And notice that your body is breathing and you don't have to do it. So see if you can let the body breathe completely by itself, just as the heart is beating by itself. Let the heart breathe by itself. Just give permission to your breath to be completely relaxed, which means allowing the belly to relax. Having a little holiday. No need to think, no need to do, no need to plan. Pay attention to the sensation of your breath and the sensation of your belly moving with the breath. Maybe you notice a heartbeat in there in the chest. And then be aware of the space around your body, the space of the room you're sitting in. You don't need to think about it. You're just aware that this body is in a space. And be aware that this space extends outside the building, covers the whole city or area you're in, the whole country, the whole planet, the whole solar system, the whole galaxy, the whole cosmos, infinite space. And again, sense your breath, sense the body. The body has heat, maybe tingling sensations, gravity, maybe some aches and pains, or pleasure, well-being. And be aware that there is an inner space which also has no boundaries. There's infinite external space, and there's an inner space of awareness which merges with physical space. And this inner space is aware, it's aware space. And in this space of awareness, everything else shows up. A breath, a sound, a sensation, a feeling. Just shows up and changes, constantly changing. And the space remains. The space remains space. And the experiences keep on changing. What we're aware of keeps on changing, but the space is always space. And I invite you to see if you can find a yes to your experience right now. Can you say yes to it? Whatever you're experiencing, can you allow it? Say yes to it. And if you find it difficult to find the yes, if there's a no, a resistance, can you say yes to the no? Can you say yes to the resistance? Don't try to say yes. Just allowing whatever resistance might be here, whatever inner no is here. Can you say yes to that? And notice the impact of this finding the yes, The yes to the yes, the yes to the no. And then move your body a little bit. Find some pleasurable movements, small movements in the face, in the arms, in the fingers. And slowly open your eyes and see if you can stay connected with the body as you open your eyes. And stay connected with this sense of inner space, which is like a nothingness. It is not an experience. It's space, it's nothing. And this nothing is something. It's freedom, it's openness. And then, if you want, maybe write a word on the chat. What was the impact of this meditation for you? How are you now after this little journey? Calm, grateful, not split mind, feeling wide and spacious, calmer, deepening relaxation, connected, relieved, relaxed, peaceful, and insightful, grounded, present, earthed, stillness, at ease, connecting to the resistance creates an opening. Good. Somebody has a problem entering the webinar, so I'm just going to send the link quickly. All right. So what we did now is basically what we do in every coaching session, not as a guided meditation, but in practice. And when we do this, life starts to move inside. Blockages release, and surprising things can happen. So my job is basically supporting people in finding a yes. When we are identified with a no, we contract and we get blocked. When we find a yes, even yes to the no, something releases and opens. Very simple, but very profound. So with that being done and said, I would like to invite you who would like a little explore some topic in your life to write a few words on the chat. Yes, I would like to explore, and my topic is just in one sentence. So I can see how many would like and what are the topics we have on the table today. Anybody would like to explore a topic? Can be anything that is a little challenge for you. Doesn't have to be the biggest challenge in life. One topic, I can't stop thinking of losing weight, even if my weight is okay. Another topic, problem, challenge of ghosting, no dialogue, I guess from another person. Okay, so Maria Plaza, shall we have a little dialogue? Where are you?
Yes, I am here. I don't know if you see me.
Here you are. All right. I will do like this. View, sorry, speaker view.
Yes. Should I go right away to the topic, or do you want to know?
Let's just say hello. Where are you in the world?
Okay. Oh, my name is Maria. I am living in Sweden, but I come from Spain in the first place. And because my head is full of Swedish, my English is not so good at this moment, but I hope you understand me.
No problem. Are you okay?
And
are you okay to be recorded for this?
Yes,
dialogue?
yes, no problem.
No problem. All right. Okay, so tell me a little about this challenge. So your mind is giving you trouble about your weight.
Yeah, and it has been going on several years now, and it is. I can recognize that it is a little absurd because I am not overweight and I don't have any problem or I don't have any food allergies, but I can't stop thinking of food at the same time, so I cannot stop thinking about being thinner than I am. And
you said you can't stop thinking about food, you said?
Yeah, so the thing that I want to lose weight makes me think about food all the time.
In which way do you think about it?
Yeah, I have breakfast and then I start thinking about lunch, and then I have lunch and I start thinking about dinner and so on.
All right.
And it's like supermarket is one of my favorite places because there is so much food.
So you love food?
Oh.
You enjoy the taste of different foods?
Yeah. I usually say that there is not one thing in life that you can do 3 times every day and gives you so much joy.
Okay, so just let's start there. Let's just start with honoring your enjoyment of food. It's a happiness to enjoy food, no?
Yeah, it's a highlight during the day, most of the time.
So just notice how you feel when you think about how much joy food gives you in life.
Yeah, it's you want me to describe it with words?
Well, just take a moment and feel yourself now.
Okay.
Just thinking about all the joy you have from different tastes of food, different kinds of food. And just thinking about that, notice how you feel. How do you feel?
So it feels good, and at the same time there is a little voice that says, be careful, you could go, you could be, so you could gain weight.
I understand. So let's keep that voice to the side for now.
Okay.
And focus on the enjoyment. Because it gives you joy. It is a joy in life.
Yes.
Yes. So leave that voice to the side for a moment and just honor that actually it gives you a lot of joy.
Okay. Oh. Also, there are so many possibilities in the food and so many different tastes, and you can nearly be transported to a place if you are eating Brazilian food or Mexican food or Italian food. You can connect it with maybe a trip that I made, or a person that I know, or a book that I've read. Then where they speak about something, and then I have the chance to taste it, and then it makes some kind of connection with. So it's it gives me a lot of thinking, and a lot of it feels like I am a part of something just by eating.
Yeah. You know, when I lived in Plum Village Meditation Center in France, eating meditation was an important meditation. It is a meditation where we can connect with the whole universe through the food. So it's a fantastic thing. So that's the starting point, to just honor there's absolutely nothing wrong about loving food, right? It's enriching your life.
Yes.
Yes. It's good to see the positive, you know, starting with the positive. And then we have this voice.
And then it's like a little spoiler, because I have to be careful, because I don't want to gain weight.
Yes. But so far, that hasn't really been a problem.
No, I don't think I have an eating disorder. I just think that it is very annoying that this voice won't stop.
Yes, I understand.
I'm beginning to get tired of it.
I understand. It's disturbing your joy.
No, in a way.
And it's not based on objective fact, because actually it's your food enjoyment is not giving you any problems.
No. And I know rationally that it doesn't have any sense, but it's there. I can get rid of it.
Yes. So this voice is like, it's like the inner parent, this voice. We all have this inner parent or parents called the superego, which is something we developed in early childhood and which has all these shoulds. Everybody has it. So when we were a child, we needed this kind of guidance to manage life. And our parents, you know, they had a lot of shoulds for us. You should this, you should that, you shouldn't this, you shouldn't that. And we internalized it, you know? So basically, it comes from the past. And we needed it when we were children. But really, it's not so much needed anymore. But it's good to recognize that it's very normal to have this kind of voice, that everybody has it. And your job is to disengage from this voice, not to get rid of it. See, this is not a good idea to try to get rid of it. But
no, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. What works is to disengage. So the difference between getting rid of and disengaging.
Okay. I'm going to write it down. Disengage.
Well, let's explore it.
Mhm.
So where is that voice now? On which side of your body?
Here.
It's there.
At my right, but you see my left because we are in.
On your right side is this voice.
Mm.
So imagine you're looking at this voice.
Mm-hmm.
And you say hello to it.
Hello.
You want to watch over my food consumption. You can say to it.
Okay. Hello. You want to watch over my food consumption?
Does it respond?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. It says of course.
The voice says, of course.
Yes.
You can't manage
Yes.
alone.
You can't manage alone without me.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's what this voice believes. It believes it has to watch over you or else things will go wrong.
Oh.
So it has taken that job to protect you.
Yeah, the voice probably thinks that it is protecting me, but I think that it is controlling me. It wants to control me.
Yes, that's how it tries to protect you, by controlling you.
Oh.
Actually, there's a way we can explore this, which I enjoy, and that is if I can talk to this voice directly. So shall we try that?
So you talk to the voice,
I
am the voice.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's try that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can I talk to the say your name again?
Maria.
Maria. So can I talk to the protector of Maria?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hello. I understand you're really watching over Maria's food habits.
Yeah, yes, it is correct.
Yes. How is that working for you?
It works quite okay because I have this power that I warn her. I send a warning when I see that she is eating too much, so that she won't overeat.
Oh, okay, so you're warning her that she won't overeat, and you feel it's working quite well, actually.
Oh, she has a nice weight.
So you're actually satisfied with her weight, and you're just watching over her.
I would like her to be maybe 2-3 kilograms lighter or thinner.
Yeah, a couple of kilograms thinner would be even better.
Yes, always better with because then it's a marginal that she can go.
Then there's a margin. Yes, I understand. I'm a little bit curious why you take this issue so important, because it seems she's doing quite okay with her weight. Why do you give so much attention to this topic?
If I am not vigilant all the time, then she will lose control and start eating 8 donuts per day and 2 kilos pasta, a lot of horrible things.
I understand. Has it happened before?
No, because I am here to watch that it doesn't happen.
So I'm curious, what do you think would happen if she got thicker?
Yeah, she would need to buy new clothes, and her mother would start being disappointed at her, and her father probably would make a little fun of her, and she would lose a part of her self-confidence.
Right, so people would not be happy with her, especially her parents?
Yes, especially her parents.
especially her parents, would be critical over her.
Oh.
Right. So you want to protect her against the criticism of her parents.
Yes, mostly. So I don't say, oh, in the end, you became fat.
Right. Okay. So you want her to maintain her self-confidence and have a good relationship with her parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about her food habits that you'd like to share?
No, there is also a little corner there that she likes very much, like Coke and sweets, and they are not so healthy. So I also have to take care that she doesn't overeat sugar or cream.
Oh, okay, so you also want to protect her health.
Oh.
So that she has good energy and can live a long, good life. Yeah.
Mm.
All
Yes.
right.
So
seems like you're keeping very busy with this task.
yeah, it's because it happens so often during the day that I have to be on my watch all the time.
You're on your watch all day, every day, huh?
Oh.
All right. I'm one little question more. Are you worried that your watching over her might actually disturb her joy of eating and joy of food and her joy in life?
No, I know that I can be jobbigt. I know that I can be a pain in the ass, but it is my work. I do my job.
Yeah, so that's more important than her happiness, actually.
Yes, that's mostly life. You don't. Yeah, you can enjoy a little bit, but you have to watch your.
Happiness is not your concern, actually. It's more being healthy and having self-confidence and having good relations. Yeah. So being safe and good. All right. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I'll go back to Maria now, okay?
Yes, please.
So I'm back to you, Maria. So just notice what the inner voice had to say. Just look at those things. So the protector is actually trying to help you have a good relationship with your parents, wants you to have a good health, and wants you to have good self-confidence. So it's all good intentions, but it's not actually concerned about your joy and happiness in life. That's not the job it has. But it is trying to do something good for you. So the intention is not bad, yeah?
No, I just wish that the method was different.
So just notice how it is when you see all these things that you heard.
So it feels a little bit strange to say it aloud because they have all the time been in my head until today.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's a kind of a free. I feel a little. Oh, there's a little freedom in saying it aloud. It sounds less important suddenly.
Suddenly, yeah. So there's
I heard myself telling these things, and I thought at the same time a little like this is a little bit ridiculous. I should have gone over this a long ago. Like it lost.
It lost a bit power.
Power, yes.
Lost a bit power, and you sense a little bit more freedom inside. So feel that freedom inside. Notice how that feels in your body, this freedom.
It's hard to say. I think it's more an intellectual freedom just now.
What do you mean when you say freedom? Because it lost power and you use the word freedom. So there must be some kind of feeling related to it.
Yes, but it's not a physical feeling. It's more like a feeling that, aha, I can talk to this person, or to this voice. I can negotiate, maybe. It's not just a wall that I am hitting against all the time.
Yeah.
And I can adjust the volume also. It feels like I can adjust the volume.
Right.
But I don't feel a physical response to that. It's more like in my head. I am playing a little puzzle that I refix or reorganize the factors or the pieces of the plot of the puzzle.
So let's try something else. So look at this voice on your right side. So look at it, maybe turn your head a little bit, and you say to this voice, I understand you want to protect me.
I understand you want to protect me.
And help me have a good relationship with my parents, have good self-confidence, and be healthy.
And you want to help me to have a good relationship with my fathers, my parents, and a healthy habits, and also help with my self-confidence.
I would like to tell you that I'm actually able to manage this now quite well myself.
I would like to tell you that I am quite capable of manage this at this point by myself.
So you can rest a little bit more.
So you can rest a little bit more.
How is that for the voice?
Yeah, the voice doesn't trust me, but it's not fighting back just now.
It's actually listening.
Oh.
See, this is how you can deal with this voice. You become the authority of the house. You are the master of the house. You don't need to fight with this voice. You just become the master of the house.
Okay.
See, now we listen to the voice in a friendly way. We understood the voice, and now you told the voice, and see, it didn't trust you, but slowly, it will trust you, and it will be happy to rest, because it's a lot of work, all day, every day, for a long time. So I think this voice would like to trust you, actually.
Yes.
Maybe try one more thing with the voice. Look at the voice again.
Hello again.
Can we do an experiment for the next week? I will manage, and you take more rest.
Can we do an experiment during next week where I take charge, I manage, and you just take a rest? And the voice wants to watch.
You can watch.
It won't say anything, but the voice wants to watch. Still watch, not be so there, not saying.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah, it's okay.
So tell the voice that's okay.
That's okay. Thank you.
All right. Now feel yourself. Feel yourself. How do you feel now?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel 2 kilograms lighter.
You lost 2 kilos. You should be very happy.
Like more, I feel like if I have taken out some kind of burden, it feels lighter.
Yeah, you're more in your power, freedom, joy. Don't fight with this voice.
No.
Just be the authority.
it. Oh, yes. Thank you.
So, it's a process. It's not done in a short session like this, but this is an important key for you to explore. And you can see how it works over the next days. And take back the authority and say, don't let this voice be the boss, and don't fight with it.
Okay.
It's more like, I'm fine, I can manage, you can rest.
Okay.
It's more like a statement, not a discussion. This was not really a discussion. It was, you were like listening to it, but actually it was like a friendly, now, next time you can say we have an agreement, I'm going to take manage, so you rest. Yeah, so next time you can be a bit more just like a statement,
Okay.
It is a bit like, if you are are you a parent?
No.
If you had a child 5 years old, and this 5-year-old started to think she was the head of the household, would you let her?
No.
No. It's a bit like that. You are the grown-up, and this voice is not your boss.
Okay. Yeah, because it felt totally the opposite.
Yeah, before.
Before.
And now?
Now it feels not like
Not
that, just now.
That's a big shift.
Oh.
So explore it and see how it goes.
I will do that. Yes.
And there's a lot more to explore, so it's a very important topic for everyone, how to manage this inner voice. Sometimes it's the inner critic, sometimes it's the, more friendly, but it's trying to be the boss. But you are the boss.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Would you like to hear from the others how it was to witness this?
Yes.
So thank you, Maria. And let's hear on the chat, how was it to witness this exchange for you? Para, so wonderful to feel your joy of food. I needed that transmission. Loved seeing you reclaim your power. Felt falling the burden just by watching. It was beautiful to see you gain more power and freedom. We all need to stand up to our inner parents, I think. Great entertainment.
Thanks.
Longhead. I don't know that word. Empowering.
I laughed. I think she means I laughed.
I laughed.
Because she says great entertainment.
Yes.
He or she,
Empowering. It was amazing experience to see how we can accept all these little pieces of ourselves. I'm going to implement it in work with my inner voices. Thank you, Kåre and Maria. Interesting. Very didactic and applicable to so many other aspects of life. Thanks. A beautiful transformation. Wonderful to see your joy for the possibility of your power. Interesting and freeing. Inspiring. Remember the podcast that I listened to with Neil Allen, who wrote the book Tame Your Inner Critic, and did a similar session with the podcast. Yes, this is the topic of the inner critic and the superego. Very important topic in life. Many people are not aware that they have an inner critic. And yet, so much suffering can be caused by believing in this voice. Don't believe in this voice. Notice it's there and find a way to deal with it. It is not our God. Okay. So I just want to mention a little bit my role. This was a special kind of coaching session because we had this special topic of inner critic. So this wasn't so much, let's say, classical Zen coaching style session, because we were using a special technique to understand and deal with the inner critic. But the general approach is empathic. You could see when I spoke to the inner critic, I listened to the inner critic with openness and curiosity. I was not judgmental. I was not arguing. I was just asking, listening, understanding. And when we came back to Maria, that was actually liberating. So that was half the work was done there. But then another step was needed, which was to engage directly with this inner protector and disengage. So there are many ways to disengage. This was one way to disengage. Basically, disengage means I don't believe it, I don't follow it, I see it, I notice it, but I don't believe in it, I don't follow it. So there are many ways to do it. It's a whole workshop in itself. So we did it in this way now. And this way was like a friendly meeting and creating a kind of collaboration. There are other ways, but this worked well in this case. Basically, we can't feel ourselves and we can't feel our vulnerability when we are under the impact of the inner critic. So as long as we're under that weight, nothing much can be done. Step one is move that energy to the side. Then something can be explored on the inside. So question, was it like internal family systems therapy, IFS therapy? Yes, in a way. In that approach, they use this kind of approach. All right, let's take a 5-minute break, just for toilet, water, stretch, and we'll be back at 7:40.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Magnus. Good day.
Hi, Magnus.
Hello.
So you are new to Zen Coaching, huh?
I believe I am, yes.
All right. So are you okay being recorded?
Yes, I am.
All right. Where are you?
I'm in the middle of Norway, location-wise, and emotionally-wise, I am determined.
Right.
Yeah.
Middle of Norway, meaning where?
It's in a town called Verdal, just north of Trondheim.
All right.
Yeah.
It's my family origin is up there.
Okay.
My name, Landfald, comes from Vardal,
Oh, it does. Okay.
the farm in Vardal.
Mm.
Are you Norwegian?
I am.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not being asked that a lot, but yes, I am.
So you wanted to explore quality of sleep.
I do. Uh, uh, I'm quite invested in a project of self-growth, a path that I'm choosing myself, and in in being able to chase those goals, I have set myself a target of waking up early. Um, but in order to pull the routine off, I need to find the energy from good quality sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge that I find myself having, is that if I don't get the quality sleep that I feel like I need, I can't pull the routine off. And my day collapses and my goals are not achieved. Um, so I would like to ask you for some advice on how to handle stress, which I believe is maybe my issue with not sleeping as well as I should.
Yeah, so I'm not so much in the business of giving advice, more exploring, and you can find your answers from within yourself,
Okay.
probably. So I'm more in the business of asking questions. So when do you want to get up in the morning? Or when are you getting up in the morning?
Around 6 in the morning.
So that's your goal, to get up at 6 every day.
Between Monday and Friday.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
Since the 1st of January, I believe.
Okay, so it's quite new.
Yes.
And in the weekend, what's your get up time?
But whenever I like. That's my 2 days off. Mm.
And what has it been?
uh, in between 7 and 9, maybe.
Right.
Mm.
And when you get up at 6 in the week, when do you go to bed?
Before 10.
Right. And you manage to keep that routine.
I do, but sometimes I struggle energy-wise. Um, um, and especially if I'm having some source of anxiety or uncertainty or stress, it's getting harder to fulfill that routine that I'm passionate about. Mm.
So it gets hard to fall asleep or to go to bed at 10.
It's hard to fall asleep.
You do go to bed, but it can be difficult to fall asleep sometimes.
Yes.
And how often is it difficult?
Um, 20% of the time.
So once a week.
Yeah, once or twice a week. Yeah.
And during those days, how late do you fall asleep?
Uh, Maybe as late as 2 hours after I went to bed. So I may get 5 or 6 hours of sleep.
Right.
Uh, yeah, as a result.
When did you used to go get up last year? What was your previous habit?
My previous habit was sleeping maybe 10 hours, 10, 11.
And getting up when?
Oh, um, um, getting up at maybe 9. Mm.
All right. So you made a quite a radical shift. So you went from 10 hours sleep, getting up at 9, and you shifted directly to 6 o'clock. So it's quite a radical change.
Yeah, yes.
So there are two ways to do it. You can go gradually, or you can do a radical. So you chose the radical path.
I believe so.
Yeah. So when we choose the radical path, maybe the challenge becomes a little bit bigger in the beginning. That's normal, no?
Mm, mm, mm.
if we go gradual, then it's not such a strange thing for the body. But now it's like a big shift, right?
Right.
So also it's only beginning of February, so maybe you need to give it some time also. Huh?
Yeah, I agree. Um, mm.
Another question I have is, when you change the habit Monday to Friday and weekends, doesn't that confuse your body a bit? So you have 6 5 days a week, and then you have 9 2 days a week. Doesn't that create like a disturbance in the routine?
It's I haven't really thought about it according to. I'm unaware whether I find it disturbing or not. Um, the routine I have is packed of things that I find that I need to do. Not and it's important for me to also have the time otherwise with my partner and family and friends. So um, it's kind of a priority of choice, if you like. That I take those a day off, which is working out and studying in every day between Monday and Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious why you choose to get up, let's say, as late as 9 in the weekends. If you have
Um,
6, it's quite a big difference, you know.
yes. I'm lazy in the way that I figured out that the only way that I can work out and have a physical exercise is to do it before I go to school. So that's why I wake up at 6. I'm at school at 9, and in the weekends I don't work out. So that's why I wake up at 9. I think the answer to that question is that between Monday and Friday I get too little sleep, and in on Saturdays and Sundays, um, my body and my brain is trying to catch up.
All right.
Yeah.
And how is it Sunday night? If you sleep until 9, can you still get to bed at 10 on Sunday?
Sometimes I have issues getting to bed early on Sunday. Yes.
So what does that tell you?
Um, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, maybe the rhythm is switching in the weekends. So the
It's like it.
mm, mm, right.
So, you know, what I've heard, I'm not an expert on sleep exactly, but what I heard is regular rhythm is very beneficial for sleep patterns. So when you have such a change and you already have your own experience that Sunday nights can be difficult. So then you're starting the week on maybe a deficit.
Mm, mm, right.
So maybe you're sabotaging yourself a little bit by having such a big difference between weekends and week.
Mm, mm. I will take that into account to prioritize getting a better rhythm. Mm.
So how could that look?
It looks like a challenge to me. Um, I think the ideal thing that I could do for myself would be to have an alarm in the weekend to wake up. Not if I sleep between Mondays and Fridays till 6 o'clock, and if on Saturdays and Sundays, if I choose to have an alarm at maybe 7, then I would continue to have that sleep rhythm going, and I would tell my body and my brain that we're gonna keep doing this, and it's gonna be better at falling asleep every day. Yeah.
So how do you feel when you say that?
I feel enthusiastic.
All right. So
Yes.
it's a positive motivation for that.
100%. Yeah.
So you see, you came up with that yourself. With my support, you found
With good help, with
Yeah.
good questions. Yes. I thank you. Yes.
you
Yeah.
found that idea yourself, and then you feel motivated because it came from inside of you. I didn't give you advice. You feel that would be a good idea, and you feel motivated.
I see that. I'm grateful.
You froze now. No,
I-
okay, we're back. So, but still, I'm a little bit curious about this topic of stress also. So, what stresses you in the week?
Um, it's private, but I can share by maybe generalizing it.
Yeah,
It strikes us at my core, if you like. Um, my source of stress is I believe it is a anxiety and a fear of not being good enough,
right.
and my motivation and my determination is and my routine, if you like, is a chase to be a better person, and chasing growth.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's quite interesting because when you speak like that, it's exactly the same topic as the last session.
Right.
Because if we don't feel good enough, it's because we have a voice that says we're not good enough inside.
Right.
There's a voice inside that says, I'm not good enough. So it's the same topic as last time. It's the superego putting pressure on you to be better, to be good enough.
And I've kind of agreed that I want to be my own friend in the process of the chase. Um, and in order to be my own friend, I would want to give myself goals that I can achieve every day. So that's
Right.
why I engage one day at a time. And if I can make this day that I've been good this day, maybe I make some mistakes, but there's the next day after that, and I can always try
Right.
again. But when the problems become bigger than the day, if the period is over years, my I would say maybe my sources of stress comes from um, multiple sources of self-image and insecurities, as with weight, the conversation we had before, hair loss, um, other health issues, but And that can be a source of stress. But on the other hand, I feel like I can balance it out with mestringsfølelse. Mestringsfølelse in English. I'm looking for a word in English.
Yeah. It's like capacity to manage, like confidence to manage.
Yeah. Confidence. I can match that with my confidence in my own capabilities, if you like. So it's trying to walk the walk and keep balance. Where I can emotionally tip to something positive or something very negative. I'm trying to fight that battle every day. To stay on course and be conscious about it. But sometimes sometimes I can go into almost a stress where it borders to a depression. I've been depressed before, so
So it's all related, you know. I speak about the inner voice. I also speak about what I call the inner troika, like three voices that collaborate. So these three voices are the inner perfectionist, which has an idea about the ideal you, the
okay.
perfect you, the perfect version of you. So that's the perfectionist. Then there's the inner pusher that pushes you to reach the goal, you know. The goal is perfection according to some standard. Then there's the inner pusher pushing you. Then there's the inner critic criticizing you for not doing good enough. So they go together as a package. And again, if we believe too much in those voices, we suffer. Instead, the more important question is, what do you really enjoy in life? On a regular day, what
Right.
is enjoyable?
Learning.
Mm-hmm.
I am passionate about learning new things. I'm passionate about ideas for a better future, people who contribute to that. Um, um, I'm passionate about working out. I'm passionate about healthy foods. And as of now, I'm quite passionate about love as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in a relationship, are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I took a chance and I moved here
Okay, because of love.
because of love. Yes.
So you're enjoying that journey of love, relationship. You're enjoying working out. You're enjoying learning. You're enjoying anything that contributes to growth for you and others, I guess, in the world, maybe.
Hmm.
How do you feel when I mirror back those things?
I feel validated. I
Mm-hmm.
feel encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
I feel flattered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like I'm being seen.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and you are doing those things in your life that are about that. Your life is filled with things that have to do with that.
Yes.
So you're living a life you enjoy.
Yes, I do. I have lots of things in my life that I do enjoy.
Yeah. So feel that. That's the most important thing. You enjoy what you're doing, and every day you can do what you enjoy. That's perfect. So you don't actually need the pusher and the critic to do those things because you enjoy them. You don't need the push from those voices because you have inner motivation for those things. You're not doing those things to feel good about yourself. You're doing them because you enjoy them. And when you enjoy them, you feel good about yourself. When we do what we enjoy, and when we enjoy what we do, we feel good about ourselves. We are aligned with our natural life force. So there's no, negativity in that. The negativity comes when we start listening to this voice. Oh, it's not good enough. Are you with me?
I think so. I think so.
So basically, I would do the same as Maria. I would tell those voices, I'm managing fine, you can rest. I'm doing what I enjoy, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. You can rest. You have nothing to prove to those voices. There's nothing to prove to anybody, actually. There's nothing to prove to anybody. The main thing is to enjoy your life, which you sound like you're doing already. What's going to destroy the joy is if you're trying to live up to some idea from the perfectionists.
I think I have a similar issue, a similar voice, if you like. Um, Early in life, I was told by my father that I would amount to nothing in life. And I feel emotionally when I say that. But it's quite obvious to me now that I wanted to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's I don't have to chase perfection in order and sacrifice my happiness in the process.
Exactly. How do you feel
Yeah.
when you say that?
What did you say?
How do you feel when you say that?
Um, I feel I feel like I can take control of my own life, and I can set my own standards, regardless of my past.
Parents, they do and say what was done and said to them, basically. So probably he was told things like that in his childhood. So it's just a repetition. So you don't have to take it so seriously. It's like something automatic. And if I say to you, you have nothing to prove to your father. Except for enjoyment or joy. If you enjoy your life, that's going to be good for your father. Even if he disagrees with your choices. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
How does that feel?
It feels like I would need time to process that thought.
Yeah.
It feels like since my father has been my father for so many years, and he's been the natural authority in my life, a natural source of knowledge, if you like, to take that aside and say that I'm in charge of that now is it's quite a big step to me, but the
Yeah.
potential of doing so.
Let me ask you one other question about your father. Have you received a lot of positive things through him from his?
In rarely in words, but in actions, I've received encouragement,
Yeah.
but rarely in words.
Yeah. That's not so unusual, especially in Norway.
Yeah.
So your father gave you life. He's been supporting you in different ways. He's been encouraging you in actions. And, you know, so you've received a lot from him.
Yes.
And now you're a grown up. Now it's up to you to enjoy your life.
Mhm.
And it's not about gaining his approval. As a child, we're always looking for approval from our parents. It's a natural thing. What? I get a message from Zoom that I'm switched to German. That's very strange. Okay. I haven't switched to German. Okay. So as a child, it's natural for us to seek the approval of our parents. We all do it. We all need it. But then as we grow up, things change. We learn that we respect our parents, but make our own choices. And it's not so much about approval anymore. It's about making my own choices for my own enjoyment.
Mhm.
And you are doing that, right?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Yeah. How do you feel now?
I feel lighter.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel uplifted.
Mhm.
Um, I feel determined in a way that I'm still instilled and engaged in trying to grow, but with a more relaxed attitude, a more relaxed approach.
That sounds great. So with a relaxed approach means less stress, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because then you don't need to use the word chase growth, because you use the word chasing growth. That's not so relaxed.
Right.
You enjoy growing. You don't need to chase it. You just enjoy it. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Now it does.
Okay, I think that's maybe a good place to end for now.
Mm.
It's a process, in coaching. Coaching is normally a process over. If you have a coach, you meet your coach, once a week or twice a month, and you explore how things are moving. So coaching is more a process over time, but now we did something and you can see the impact. And then you learn something and then you continue to explore.
Mm.
You want to hear how it was for the others to witness this exchange?
I would.
All right. Thank you, Magnus. Let's hear some feedback on the chat. How was it to witness this exchange and Magnus' journey? Very uplifting. No, that's maybe an earlier comment. No, that was not. Very uplifting and enlightening exchange for someone who also likes to achieve things quickly and tends to make radical changes and waits for them to work immediately. Such an open and vulnerable process. Thank you. I witnessed effortless growth. Thank you for sharing, inspiring. Wonderful to see. We are like trees and have a drive to grow. It will happen if we do not resist it. It was very interesting to see the process and how it evolved to such a big empowerment. Thank you for your sincerity and good luck. Very interesting to see how much we should dig to get to the underlying issues. There is always so much under the tip of the iceberg, right? Amazing. Thanks. Touching and heart-opening, inspiring. Thanks. So you benefit more people, Magnus, by sharing in this way. And you had a wish to contribute also. So now you had another need met. Thank you both. I could relate to listening to the inner critic and the inner perfectionist and letting those voices interrupt my sleep as well. Taking risks is part of the joy in life, and we have to believe in our instincts. Deep healing insight. Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Magnus. Thank you, Magnus, for your courage and openness. Okay. So if I'm going to comment a little bit on my coaching here, it had some similarities. Oops. It had some similarities because we had, again, the inner voice. We introduced two other inner voices, the perfectionist and the pusher. But first was more like classical coaching. I was just asking a bunch of questions that led to Magnus making a different choice about how to sleep in the weekends. That was, in a way, quite straightforward, just getting all the facts on the table and reflecting on it, and then making a fresh choice based on the basic motivation. And then we could also see, the inner voice is basically internalized parent voices. Because our parents, we receive 1 million messages, verbal and non-verbal, all throughout childhood, and it gets internalized. And these voices contain a lot of contradictions because they are a combination of mama and papa and teacher and friend. So they are not easy to follow. We can never satisfy them because they're full of contradictions also. So again, recognizing that we are grown-ups and it's about enjoying life. So that was a big topic here. That's another way to liberate ourselves from the inner critic, because as we saw in the first session, the inner critic or the inner protector has no interest in your happiness. That might be a little bit shocking. But if you follow that inner voice, you will not be a happy person, even if you do everything, because happiness is not the agenda of this inner voice. It's just to do the right thing according to some idea. So here we saw Magnus actually knows what he enjoys, and he's already doing it. So that's a good situation. Many people don't know what they enjoy, so then it's a big process to find out what you enjoy. But if you know, you're in a good position. Then it's just to remember that that's the important thing, not to satisfy some inner voice idea. That's going to make me unhappy, stressed, completely unnecessary. So coaching, for me, it's about finding enjoyment in life from inner motivation. What I enjoy, my creativity, my choices. Not because I should do it. If you follow any should, it leads to unhappiness. Should is the inner voice. It's only I choose because I enjoy it. That's the happiness rule. I choose it because I enjoy it, because it's meaningful, not because I should. Should is a dangerous word to believe in. But it's good to see it. If it's there, it means the voice is there and I'm listening to it. So that's some comments on what happened here. Okay, any questions about my coaching role? Since this webinar is also about Zen coaching, understanding what coaching is, what this way of coaching is. Is it possible to do this process of self-exploration by oneself? Absolutely. Totally. That is always the idea, to be your own coach. But sometimes it's very helpful to have an external coach because it can be hard to see things without external support sometimes. Any questions about my coaching? To me, it seemed like both clients were a lot in their heads. Any comment on that? There's no problem with being in the head. We explore what is going on. There are thoughts, there are reflections. And when the inner critic is the topic, that's where it's happening. It's happening in the head center a lot. So the main thing is the session moving in a positive direction? Is there some valuable insights coming, some shifts? For me, that's the main question. So also a principle of coaching is to meet people where they are, not to try to get them someplace where they are not. All right. No other questions about that? There's a question if I can talk about generally about why physical accidents happen. That's not so easy to talk about. It takes us a little bit out of the focus here, which is to do coaching demonstrations and talk about coaching. So there are many reasons for body accidents. Yeah, I don't think I want to go into it. There's no simple answer to it. It depends. It's better to explore in each case with each person. But often we attract certain accidents in our life. And there's a deeper hidden reason that we attract certain accidents. So one can explore, find out what are the hidden mechanisms behind that. It's possible. Astrid, you wanted to ask something?
Yes, because it's difficult to enter the question.
Yes.
I remember in your former coachings that you repeated always, what is now? And I was waiting for this tool during this coaching. So when do you use it? What is now?
Well, actually, I was using it many times. I asked, what's happening now? What do you feel now? I asked it many times with both persons. How do you feel now? How do you feel now? What's happening now? I asked it many times.
Yes, no, when you say it, yes. But I was 10 years ago so impressed by just staying calm in full presence, not engaging in the drama of the person. That's why I asked you.
It depends on the topic. You know, when the topic is a bit more practical, like sleep patterns, or the topic is the inner critic, it's a bit different. Because if the inner critic is there, we can't just ask what's happening now. First, we have to deal with the inner critic. After that, it's possible to go deeper into the body. Yeah, so that's the main reason.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, there's a question. What makes Zen coaching different from other coaching methods? Is it the mindfulness and focus on acceptance and awareness on the now? Yes, it's very much about that. You know, it's a bit like Gestalt therapy, very much now oriented. And very much oriented at finding the yes to the present moment and finding a deep inner connection. So problems are solved mainly by deep inner connection, not by external change. And in the deep inner connection, there are many qualities that we explore in Zen coaching, which I call essence qualities or qualities of consciousness, qualities of presence. So in Zen coaching, we work a lot with these qualities, and we have a detailed understanding of these different qualities. That's quite unique with Zen coaching. But, you know, there are similarities with, you know, coaching and therapy depends more on the person doing it than on the method. Okay. I think it's time for another break. This time, let's do a 10-minute break. So 8:40, okay?
Okay. I'm just inspired by how you're summarizing things, and it's like it puts in places, because I don't have so much experience of voice of dialogue and these things, but I have worked a lot with the inner critic. But it's so revealing also to see someone else is working. It's like I'm drinking it
Yeah.
and enjoying it.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Lamita mentioned voice dialogue. So this is a method I use. Somebody else mentioned internal family systems. So these are two methods, quite similar in many ways, to explore different inner subpersonalities, inner voices. So at the level of personality, we are many persons. We are not one person. We are a whole truckload of people inside. And the different parts are popping up depending on the situation. And we get identified with this part or that part, and we get lost. And each part is a little bit like a computer program. It has its own logic, but it lacks deeper wisdom. So that's the whole arena of personality, of ego selves. And they all have a good intention, you know, but they lack a deeper wisdom because they are personality, they are coping mechanisms, strategies to manage life. And we are very intelligent, you know, we learn this. We spend our entire childhood learning all these fancy strategies. So on the other side of personality, or deeper than personality, is essence. So that is more the essential self, the true self. So we have the personality self, ego self, which is many selves. And then deeper than that, we have the essential self. So that's the one I'm really interested in. And when I speak with a client, I'm speaking to the essential self. I am not speaking to subpersonalities. We can play with subpersonalities, but the one I'm interested in is the true person. Even if the other person isn't connected, aware of that dimension, I am still speaking to that part, which is not a part, which is the real person. And this real person is a wholeness. And it's a spiritual being. It's a consciousness being. And this consciousness being is a wholeness. And it has access to all kinds of qualities and richness, inner richness. And that is where the meaning of life is to be found. And we can say the whole world is suffering from humanity being lost at the personality level and not enough in touch with the essential level. So the essential level is also the dimension of love, of compassion, of true joy, innocence, openness, care, freedom, everything we're looking for. And the only thing that can, create deep meaning and also deep relationship and compassionate collaboration. The more we live in the personality level, we see the consequences, strife, struggle, depression, burnout, stress, conflict, war, fighting, polarization, anger, hate, murder, killing. And it's a tragedy, basically. But the good news is every human being has this dimension of essence. But every human being is not aware of that dimension, is not consciously connected. And that is my interest, to myself be as much as possible connected to this deeper layer. And that's also why I started with space. Space awareness opens the door to that deeper, because space is consciousness. It's beyond personality. So just taking a holiday, taking a moment of non-doing, sensing the breath, sensing the body, taking a holiday from doing and thinking, and we are in consciousness, we are in essential presence. Then things start to become possible. So that's meditation. And meditation is more like a way of life, returning to that place many times every day. Living in presence, as presence. And it's not an easy task. It's a lifelong task, and it's infinitely rich. So it's both easy and difficult, I would rather say, you know, because we can shift very quickly, but to live from that place in a continuous way in everyday life, that is not easy. But basically, if you suffer deeply, it means you are identified at the personality level. Because at the essential level, we don't suffer. There may be pain, but not suffering. I like to say, essence is the meaning and fulfillment of life. In other words, it doesn't matter what we achieve in life. That's never going to fulfill us deeply. Getting what we want is good, because if we get everything we want, we discover it didn't fulfill us. Then we can go to the next step. So the earlier you get everything you want and get disillusioned, the better. The great disillusionment comes when we reach every goal and we realize we're not fulfilled. Then the next journey starts for the real fulfillment. So in a way, suffering is good, because people who suffer more have more motivation to find that which is beyond suffering. If your life is easy, then the motivation generally isn't so strong. So sometimes, you know, I like also to say, as they say in Zen, the obstacle is the path. It teaches us something. There's something to learn from every challenge. So that's another coaching principle. When I meet a client who has a big suffering, big problem, big challenge, I don't see a problem. I never see a problem. I see a person who believes they have a problem. Every problem is a belief. It's an idea. Problems are not real. They don't exist in the world. They exist in our mind as an interpretation of the world. So that's what I see. I see an interpretation that causes suffering. And then I get curious. What's the potential here? What can this teach? What can be learned? What can be opened up here? What's the gift? Where's the gift? There's a gift in every crisis, in every problem. So what's the gift here? What's the potential? What's the possibility? So if we have this understanding and this perspective, we won't be so angry with our troubles. We will say, okay, there's trouble. It means I need to learn something. Life is a school. I'm supposed to learn something. If you don't take that approach, then you get stuck in suffering. And some people are stuck in suffering their whole life. They never see it. They see more like, I'm a victim of life. But that's a position I take. I take the position of being a victim of life. Nobody is really a victim of life. The best example of this, one of the best, is Viktor Frankl, who ended up in a concentration camp in the Second World War. And he decided, if I can't find meaning here, I can't find it anywhere. And he managed to find a meaningful life in the concentration camp, waiting to get murdered. But he survived miraculously, and he came out and he wrote this book, Man's Search for Meaning, which has sold in like 10 million, 20 million copies, where he describes this principle that it's not the situation, it's how we relate to the situation, which matters most. Okay, that was a little principle. Okay, so there's a question here. What would you say to someone whose essence identifies as divided into two people and one of these personalities refuses to speak? What advice would you give to the second one, the one listening to such essence? Well, essence is deeper than those two subpersonalities. So, I want to connect with the essential self. And this essential self can see these two subpersonalities. And if one of them refuses to speak, we honor that. We get curious about its refusal to speak. If you want somebody who doesn't want to speak, if you meet somebody who doesn't want to speak, show some curiosity about why they don't want to speak in a friendly way. That can open something. There's a reason, there's a need behind. There's a need behind every position, every choice, every strategy. There's a positive need. So what's the positive need behind not wanting to speak? I would want to guess that need. Maybe a need for trust, a need for honoring, a need for understanding. Yeah, I can't answer this generally. It has to be explored in a session, basically. We have time for another session if somebody would like to explore. Or if you want to ask some question about Zen coaching, or you can just unmute yourself. Okay, Nuno, we can explore a bit. Where are you? I don't hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Now I hear you.
Okay. I'm with a friend and I appear as Susanna. She's here.
Hi, Susanna.
So the one with the question is me.
Okay, and you're Nuno.
Yes. So good evening.
Good evening, where are you?
I'm okay in general.
Where are you?
Where? Currently in Malmö in Sweden.
All right.
But I'm Portuguese. I moved here 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I was curious because my friend Susanna has mentioned Zen coaching several times, and I've been dealing with the issue of being ghosted and lack of dialogue with a person in my life.
Right.
And I've explored that. So when it began, I had almost 2 years sleeping really poorly.
Mm-hmm.
then I could solve that through hypnosis. I started doing meditation also after, actually the day that I went to the hypnosis, which solved the issue, summer 2022. And I started doing meditation, and I've done a couple of sessions of hypnosis more, so exploring more what we call under regression higher self, which I think identifies with the essence that you mentioned.
Yes, that's another word for essence, higher self.
And in my case, the issue is I find myself...
By the way, is it okay we record this?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. My essence, let's say my higher self, has addressed the issue that, to say it bluntly, it's a soul experiment in which it's divided in two people, me and someone else, who from an earthly point of view, it's just someone else. And I understand that, okay, if, assuming this is correct, I have to respect the other person's will, as with anyone else, of course, but that still has...
you're talking about an external person now.
Yes, yes.
So we're not talking about your essence. We're talking about two people.
Well, that's a matter of definition, but yes, two people from our perspective, yes.
Yeah, let's take that perspective. So you are one person, and this other person is another person.
Yeah.
No, it's better to start at that normal human level. So at the human level, we are separate people.
Yes.
At some level, we're all one, but that's not, normally where we operate. If you were operating from that place, you wouldn't have any problem.
Well, I still feel the how do you say, the consequences of the separation.
It wouldn't be really an issue if we were really in total oneness. So it's better to take the human level. So somebody you were close to, a friend or something.
Well, acquainted. I didn't spend much time. It was at a yoga retreat. We didn't spend much time together. Everyone, I guess, was going through their things, and it was a bit like seeing him going through that. Like I was, as a sponge for speaking, I absorbed that energy, so to speaking. Which I think, I mean, talking to other people, it seems a bit what empathic people do in general. For me, it was a new experience altogether. And I was surprised myself because I tend to be, more narcissistic, let's say it. And that the pain of that person really stuck with me and sticks with me until now.
I see.
Because of the lack of dialogue, I don't know how to move forward, because it's just still there, and it's nothing that I can, say, pinpointing something in my own past or my own experiences as being the cause of it.
Right. Okay, so you spent time with this person in a yoga retreat.
Yes.
This person was going through some painful things.
Yeah.
And somehow you started feeling all that pain in your system.
Yeah.
And then after the retreat, this person cut off all contact.
Yes, not immediately, but when I started to try to, show my interest and try to explore a bit the issue, what was it in the end,
Okay, so that somehow felt threatening for this person,
Yes.
probably. So they decided to not have any contact.
Yeah.
So the issue is that you feel stuck with this pain inside, which you
Yes.
feel belongs to somebody else.
Yes.
So what kind of pain is it?
Well, it's the best way to make visual is a bit like if someone was making pressure over my heart. Like there's a vacuum in the heart, and so my heart is like a vessel. It's vacuum inside, and outside the air pressure creates like this.
Okay, so
there's
like pressure around the heart.
Yes, the symptoms are a bit, from what I've read, meanwhile, it's a bit like the very early stage of heart attack. It never went so far, but like pain in the chest, sometimes slight numbness towards more the left side, stuff like that.
Okay. So I suggest we explore it without taking any position who it belongs to.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter so much.
Mhm.
It's there, right?
Exactly.
It's there, it's in your body. So let's just explore it a little bit. So if you sense your heart, your chest now,
Yeah.
notice what are the sensations.
It's the sensation of pressure mostly. There's pressure from the outside against the chest.
Okay, so can you allow yourself to feel that?
Yeah, it's always there.
Okay, so close your eyes and just embrace that feeling a bit with your consciousness. And does that sensation have any color or texture? Density?
Color or texture, I don't feel. Density, I don't know if that would be density, but again, it feels just like it's imploding. Sort of, it's imploding. I mean, the pressure, the pain exerts from the fact of a void and the pressure from the outside towards that void.
Yeah, so the pressure on the outside,
Yeah.
does it have a thickness?
I would say no, it's just like air, like peaceful air.
Okay, so it's like air. Okay. Just feel this pressure for a moment. Stay with it. Let yourself feel it completely. Just be with it without trying to fix it or change it or get rid of it, but just see if you can be curious about really feeling it fully. What's happening now?
It feels a bit simply that. So I mentioned as if there's a void, but now it feels like the air permeated into it, and there's air everywhere. So like a bit of like yeah, a sphere which lets the air on and off.
Okay, so stay with it. Continue to feel that. If you can, with some curiosity. And now?
Similar. It's as if, yeah, almost as if that sphere is barely existing. It's just that. So the void, which was a void, is no longer a void. It's just the pain itself is air now, filled with air now.
Okay, it's filled with air.
Yeah, like the I mentioned in the beginning, it was as if air was pressuring, but now is as if that barrier between the air and the void inside dissoluted a bit, and it's just air everywhere.
And this air has pressure in it?
Yes, I guess so, yes.
You guess or check? Because it was pressure, is it still a sense of pressure?
Yes, yes.
We can try something. Try saying a friendly hello to it.
Hello.
Does it respond in any way when you say hello to it?
It responded hello back.
Okay. Say to it, can I meet you?
Can I meet you? Yeah, I get the same answer that I get in meditation, or not the same answer, but the same voice I get in meditation and hypnosis.
What's the answer?
You already know why this is.
Say, actually, I'm curious. I'd like to understand more.
Actually, I'm curious. I'd like to understand more.
Are you willing to share with me?
Are you willing to share with me? Can repeat it again. It's the answer.
Okay, so repeat it again.
It's not your pain. Out of this body.
It says it's not your pain?
Yeah. It's not your pain, not of this body.
Okay, so say to it, okay, so it's not my pain, it doesn't belong to this body.
Yeah. So it's not my pain, it doesn't belong to this body. Correct.
So you say to it, so you don't actually belong to my body.
So you don't actually belong to my body. Correct.
And how come you stay here? Can you ask?
How come you stay here? Because it would be too much for the other. It's still too much.
So you're protecting the other. You can say that.
So you're protecting the other. I wouldn't call it protected, but it's an acceptable term.
Okay. Well, you want to protect the other from having to feel this much pain.
Are you wanting, should I ask or, well, yeah. Should you want to protect the other from feeling this much pain? Partially, yes.
Partially, yes.
Not completely, as you know, but partially, yes. It would be too much.
Not completely. So what is not completely mean?
Nuno is not the main one to feel it, but it would be too much just for one person.
Okay, so it's divided.
Yes.
So you're getting some of it.
Yes. He knows this already.
So just stay with it a little bit. Just hang out with this thing a little bit, waiting a little bit, see what else might come. You can say to it, I hear you.
I hear you.
I understand you.
I understand you. I know. It answers back.
So you could ask it, what might be a good way forward here?
What might be a good way forward here? From your side, as I told you before, it's about fighting your skepticism. That pain is only yours.
Okay, so your skepticism is your pain. That's what it's saying.
it's only Nunu's pain. That one is not divided. That one is pure Nunu. It's not me. It's not the other one. It's only Nunu. And he
Oh.
knows this already.
Okay, so how is it to hear that?
I've heard it before, and I know it's also something I'm working on. It's not new.
What kind of skepticism is being talked about?
Because I've been wondering. I was wondering for several years, and I tried to find out where this pain comes from. And as I found, it had to do also with my spiritual awakening, and learning a lot about other dimensions and rebirth plans, past lives, and all that. But since I'm I would say academic, I'm a biologist, so very scientific. There's this part of my mind so very skeptical towards all of this.
Okay.
So I still struggle a lot within my head, and within this context of meditation and hypnosis, etc., I've been told, okay, there's one pain which is divided, and then there's a problem with skepticism, which is just me.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, we all have an inner skeptic. It's another inner voice. You know?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But it sounds like you have some distance to this inner skeptic.
Currently, I guess, or distance, not so distant, but conflict, yes, internal war.
Well, then we're back to the first session, you know, it's like the inner critic. Can't fight it. If you fight it, you get stuck.
Yeah.
So it's more like honoring it's there. The skeptic is there. If you fight it, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
So better look at the skeptic and see, I recognize you're there. What happens when I say that?
It just confirms what I've been thinking by now watching your this session, and indeed I recognize a bit what the two people before mentioned. So the inner critic about the food, and the guy also wanted to be perfect and so on. Is that inner voice that I need to acknowledge and discuss, but say kind of, okay, you did your job, but I decide to go.
Okay, so let's do it now. Where is the skeptic located right now?
I would sense it here, so on my right side as well.
Okay.
Right now. So.
Let's say hello to the skeptic.
Hello.
How does it respond to your hello?
Not verbally, just a bit in a defensive, I wouldn't say position because I don't visualize anything, but
no, I understand. You just sense it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll say to the skeptic, you have a valuable role also.
I know.
Say to the skeptic.
You have a valuable role.
But we don't buy everything immediately.
Yeah. So I don't buy everything immediately. And I question. And I doubt.
And then you can say to it, and now I can see things quite clearly, so you don't have to work so hard.
Now I can see things quite clearly, so you don't need to work as hard.
I can manage. I can see things.
I can manage. I can see things.
What happens when you say these things?
What happens?
Yeah, what happens with you? And what happens with the voice? The skeptic?
The skeptic feels worried with me. I don't feel anything different because I never did this process exactly like this, but I've done this inner dialogue
So say to it, it's hard for you to trust me.
It's hard for you to trust me. No, it's not about trust. It says it's not about trust, it's about survival. I don't I don't doubt your judgment. I just want you to survive.
Well, that's not very logical, you know. If it trusted you, it would know that you can manage to survive.
So you should know that I'm able to survive. I have concerns. That's the answer.
So say to it, I understand you have concerns.
I understand you have concerns.
And I want to say to you, I can manage.
And I want to say to you that I can manage.
You can rest more now.
You can rest more now.
How does it respond to that?
Feels still a bit skeptical, but as taking distance, as if it
Right.
moved away or lost a bit the
Right.
the strength.
Yeah. See, it wasn't so when you stated your capacity, it lost a bit of its intensity. So how do you feel now?
Now, sort of thing, because that distracted me. Now I feel the chest pain a bit more vivid again.
Okay. But how do you feel about this whole skeptic thing?
About the skepticism, I feel lighter.
You feel like,
Yeah, as if
Let
I could
me-
concentrate better now.
yeah, so let yourself feel that, your capacity to concentrate and your lighterness.
Yeah.
Feel that for a moment. I see a smile.
Yeah, because I hear that voice again. The what I call the essence was like, finally, thank you.
Okay, something celebrating.
Yes.
Yes, so feel that. And your chest now?
The chest is the same.
So say to the chest feeling, I dealt with the skeptic now.
I dealt with the skeptic now.
I'm more in my own power.
I'm more in my own power.
And thank you for reminding me.
Thank you for reminding me. Says you're welcome.
Okay. And I want to go back to the question, what's the way forward here? Do you have some suggestion?
And I want to go back to the question, what's the way forward? Do you have a suggestion? He said, or he says, you did what you can on your own, and that's all what's asked from you. As I told you before, there's part of the pain which is divided, there's part of the pain is yours. The only one you can manage alone is yours. You just did that. Keep doing that.
Okay. Let's do a little experiment, okay? Just a little test. Try saying, I would like you to return to where you really belong.
I would like you to return to where you really belong.
What happens?
It just said I can't, or I can't.
And then try saying, I don't think it solves anything for anyone for you to stay here.
I don't think it solves anything for anyone for you to stay here. I agree.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. It said, I agree.
Yes. I agree. I've told you since the beginning, it's not your pain. It's too much for one person to deal alone. That's why you accepted it. It's too much for one soul, as you see it.
Okay, so it's actually saying it's you who see it like that. That's
Yes.
interesting information. So maybe you have to change your idea. Maybe it's your idea that it's too much for one person to handle. Let's look at your idea.
Mm.
Is it true that you can rescue somebody by taking their pain?
No, not by taking it.
So it's not true.
Not by taking it. That's not what Nunu is doing either.
Well, that seems exactly what Nunu is doing.
Nunu is, what's the word? I guess you could say taking a tiny part of it, yes.
Half of it divided, you say.
Yes. He's taking
Yeah.
a tiny part of it.
It's not so tiny.
It is tiny compared to the other side.
Okay. Is it true that you're helping the other person by keeping this pain inside of you?
Who you inside of me,
I'm
whom?
asking you now, Nunu.
If I'm helping the other person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no confirmation. I have no, how to say, physical way to confirm or deny it. I don't know.
Well, it seems like you have an idea that you are helping the other person. That's why you accepted to carry this pain. That's what the pain itself was telling you.
Okay, in that sense, yes, I would guess so. Yes.
Yeah. So I think you need to do something, explore this idea if that's really true. If life works like that. I don't think life works like that. Maybe you're not helping the other person. Maybe you're actually taking away something from the other person. That belongs to them, that they maybe need. They need it because it belongs to them. What happens when I say that?
There's like a division. There's like my ego agreeing and that voice feeling, I would say, fearful because I might break the contact.
Okay, so you believe you're maintaining the contact by keeping this pain.
Not necessarily just by keeping the pain, but that's part of it. That's how it feels.
That's an important part. Why do you have to keep the contact?
Because otherwise both parts decay, I guess would be the best term.
Yeah, so these are some ideas you have. I would question the truth of those ideas.
That's part of my skepticism, is exactly going into this constant wondering.
Well, those are not very logical ideas. Every person has a destiny, which comes with some suffering and pain and challenges. And by working through those challenges and accepting them, we grow.
True.
Are you agreeing?
Yes.
So if you take something that belongs to somebody else, you're not helping them. You're actually taking something away from them. So this is not helping the other person.
Not that I know of. The feeling is not that they know of. No.
Not that they what?
That they know of.
It doesn't matter if they know or not. It's just understanding the basic principle. So you can let go of this idea that you're helping anybody in this way. So if you open your eyes and look at me for a moment, just feel the contact here, connection. How is that feeling?
Feels okay. Feels a bit, validating what I've experienced before.
Okay. So we're running a bit out of time here. So, it needs more time. But I feel also some important things at the end here to continue to really question and maybe let go of that idea.
I know that's what my skepticism has been telling me for months.
Well, it's not about your skeptic, it's about your essential self can see it.
Yeah, awesome.
Your wisdom, your inner wisdom can see it. Like really seeing that deeply. But maybe you're not quite there yet. I would move in that direction.
Okay. Thank you.
How do you feel? Did you feel some benefit from this exploration?
The clearest benefit is a bit validation. There's still that feeling like an openness of the light, like there was a light shining and the opening to that light expanded.
Yeah.
There's also now a bit, I would not necessarily say benefit, but what I feel is, again, these two voices kind of contradicting each other, or not contradicting, but trying to pull in different directions. But it's all things I've gone through before, so it's nothing new. but yeah, I feel compared to before the conversation, that's clearly the biggest benefit and is this opening of the light coming in, so to speak.
Right. And you gained some distance from the skeptic, actually, or the intensity of the skeptic went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Nuno.
Yeah.
You want to hear how it was for the others to witness?
Sure.
Okay. Would you like to say something in the chat? How was it to witness this journey? Anybody? A really intriguing unfoldment, pretty intense. Very touching. Deep and intriguing. It was very interesting and touching experience. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so this was quite a different style of exploration. Although it had this similarity, we found another inner voice, the skeptic. It's another sub-personality we all carry, the doubter, the skeptic. So in this session, I used a technique called focusing, which is speaking to sensations inside as if they are a living being. And it's very interesting that we can have these dialogues. And it feels very real when we do it. If you haven't tried it or seen it, it can look strange. But actually, it's something that's very clear when we do it. There is like an entity speaking back. Our sensations are like living beings. And in this case was very unusual in that it belonged to somebody else. That's what it said. So we just listened to what it said and tried to explore what could come out of that. And we would have needed more time to come to the root of everything. But I felt it was an interesting exploration that moved in a good way. And the journey continues. So it's not about fixing, it's about exploring and see, where does life take us with this? What is there to learn? Because all these inner things, there's something to learn. There's some intelligence there and some message that can teach us something. I wonder if Nuno might want to explore how to get out of his comfort zone to become more curious and accepting of the unknown. Maybe his skeptic really believes he knows everything and therefore has troubles finding any answers. Thank you so much, Kåre, for tonight. It was a wonderful webinar and so good and enlightening to see your magic. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, I don't know about that out of his comfort zone and not. I don't know if that's the way here, but possibly. Okay, any comments, questions about my role? The coaching side of this exchange before we end? Okay, then maybe we can just end by saying something about how it was to be here tonight. How are you now after this evening? A word or a sentence. What did it give you to be here? If you want to say something. Thank you, Kåre, for these 3 sessions. It was nice to see it. It was good to learn from you. Thank you so much, Kåre, and all participants. Thank you, Kåre. It was a very inspiring evening for me. Thank you for a compassionate and interesting evening. It was very interesting to follow your coaching and learn from you. Thank you. It was... Where did it go? It was an amazing and very intense experience for me. Thank you guys for sharing with us, and thank you, Kåre, for being with us. It was very interesting and inspiring, and what I found out, Zen coaching is deep and logical at the same time. Always good to see the principles in action during inquiries coaching. It was inspiring to see how you conducted the whole thing with care and assertiveness, love and lightness. Thanks. It was amazing. Thank you for sharing these sessions with us. Thank you, inspiring and many clear techniques. This webinar happened at the perfect time. These topics and methods really support me with what is unfolding right now. An inspiring evening. Thank you. Good night to you all. I need to go to bed. A big hug to you all from Brazil. Brazil, okay. All right, it's time to end. My first time experience, so exciting to be a beginner. Beginner's mind is the best. So, we have a 5-day workshop coming up in May, 7th to 12th of May. I will have Zen Coaching, the Zen way of coaching, relaxing into being at Ängsbacka, Sweden. So you are warmly welcome. And also in Poland, there is module 1, 5 days in April in Sopot area, northern Poland. I love to see these sessions with people who have not done the training and don't have the Zen coaching lingo, so to say, and how to navigate to essence. Okay, if you want to unmute yourself and make a big noise, say goodbye, you can do so. And we will end here.
Sind wir das dieselbe Krieg? Also auch als ich
Thank you.
So.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Bye bye. Bye bye.